Hey, what's up everyone? JT here. Welcome to Pineapple Money, where I talk about stock market news and investing for the long-term portfolio. I just wanted to make a quick update video today on Tesla over here because Tesla did take a huge dip of around 4%. I wouldn't say that's crazy, but 4% is 4%. And of course, I would say this is actually a great excuse to pick up some shares for the long-term portfolio for me. Now, before I continue, I just want to say that if you do find anything interesting in this video, please don't forget to hit the like button down below and subscribe for more content. And also, if you did have the opportunity to buy in today, let me know down in the comments below. Thanks. Alright, so taking a look at, this is Tesla's chart right here. Tesla did open around 423 this morning, around 9:30 of course Eastern time. And then afterwards it did fall off a cliff. Today it was a low of $407 of course. This is about a 4% move downwards. But of course, prior to today, they were falling post earnings. Now, in general, I would say this is not really shocking to me because prior to Tesla's stock split, they would move 35% on the daily. But now, since the split, I would say the stock has mostly stabilized. So, whoever bought shares around $407, $408, which is about the negative 4% range, I would say you got quick hands and you picked up some great deals. But unlike me, I'm definitely slower and I got butterfingers, so I picked up shares around the $409 range over here. But I would honestly say pretty good deal nonetheless. Now, apparently what happened to Tesla today is that they had news regarding a recall in their Model S and X models in China. So let's take a look at that article. Alright, so the big news that happened today with Tesla is that looks like reported from Electric this morning, October 23rd at 6:30 or so. Tesla is recalling almost all Model S and X's sent to China over suspension issues. Now, as we scroll down right here, it looks like specifically 28,000 vehicles were affected between the model year of 2013 and 2017. Looks like Model S's and X's. And I'm sure, as you know, Tesla's Model S and X are both produced in the Fremont factory in the United States. Looks like regarding what happens, looks like the problem is being described as a weakness in the Model S and X suspension that can lead to a cracked linkage after an impact. Okay, after an impact, so it looks like it's both affected during the front suspension. And this is what the Chinese government or Tesla has to say from there. But when some vehicles with the scope of this recall are subjected to a large external impact, the ball studs of the rear connecting rods of the front suspension will have an initial crack. And it looks like this is also the same report regarding the rear suspension as well. So I actually thought that was kind of interesting to see, but you can also kind of see what Electric's intake is on it as well. And I would say I kind of agree with Electric on this one, but they did point out that this whole thing is kind of strange since the only problem that occurs is after a large external impact. And you can kind of see where Electric's kind of implying right here. But suspension systems do tend to break after a large impact. It's like, jumping on a bed. It's not the bed's fault that you are jumping on it and it kind of just broke. So I don't know, but that kind of makes it hardly a kind of defect. So however, the fact is that the only recalling vehicles up to 2017, which makes it kind of interesting on Tesla's part because it looks like they probably changed something regarding the next model year, 2018 and higher. So therefore, there might have been a weakness in the suspension prior to this update. So of course, this is all news that came out today and this morning, but late in the afternoon, it looks like there was another report from Electric. So there's another article posted this morning from Electric. Wow, Electric's pretty fast. But this afternoon, October 23rd, 1 p.m., looks like Electric did post that Tesla argues that there is no defect on suspensions, saying that China's recall is unnecessary. So as we look over here, earlier today, of course, what you just saw is that Tesla's recalling almost 30,000 vehicles, S and X's, and that the model year 2013, 2017 were affected. But Tesla, of course, disagrees with what the Chinese authorities is doing, is that there's no need to recall these vehicles and argues that there's no defect. And prior to before that, in the United States, looks like the Model S was indeed investigated under the NHTSA regarding suspension issues in 2016. So the long story short for this right here is that Tesla is arguing against that there's no defect, and from electric taker viewpoint, and I guess I would also agree with this as well, is that, of course, large impact can cause suspension issues, and it can be a offense that whatever they're doing in China or whoever is driving the vehicles in China can play a role, which includes the drivers. And now, of course, the second take is that these vehicles are only impacted from model years 2013 to 2017. That just means that on Tesla's part, they probably did do something with suspensions in later years, such as 2018, 2019, 2020. So that is kind of interesting to see. So right now, this is kind of just breaking news that came out today on Friday, October 23rd. So I'm sure we'll hear more about it as more news comes out. But like I said, Tesla is arguing, saying there's no defect, and there was a previous investigation with this in 2016 for Model S's, and the government did find it to be no defect at all. So I guess we'll kind of just have to follow and see what happens with this news. I just want to go back and say that I am bullish on Tesla in the long term. In my opinion, which I'm not a financial advisor, of course, shares around this $400 range or even lower, or the $2,000 range prior to the stock split, is a really good value for this company. Especially since right now, Tesla does have very, very ambitious prospects for their future. And the growth is honestly only starting from here. And whenever there's bad press like this, such as the recall of the Model S and X in China, I would say it's actually a pretty good opportunity to pick up some shares, which like what I did today. Now, I do expect Tesla to become somewhat more volatile in the future just because of the upcoming elections is drawing near. But honestly, all these volatility actions, it's all pretty small and minute to things to what Tesla has to do for the long term. And just remember that every reaction is an overreaction, just like today. All right, so this kind of wraps up my quick update on Tesla. If you found anything interesting in this video, please don't forget to hit the like button down below and comment what you think of the news today. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.